everyone.
Hey guys.
Slay to be back in a minute. He had to go take a phone call. Somebody had water in the attic or something. I don't know.
He said he didn't want to hang out with us.
Basically. So tonight it's me and Bailey, as you can see.
Y'all are lucky again. 2 weeks in a row.
Don't forget to like the stream, share it, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. So we have the same questions that Slade asked her, and I'm going to ask her, but she and I are also going to just talk a little bit about some different things. So, we'll start it by, I guess I'll just give a little bit of a backstory for people that watch after the live that might not know our backstory. So I have been a part of Bailey's life her whole life. I am not her biological mother, but I am her mother. I have raised her whole life, and yeah, so that's that.
Yep.
She's mine just like Gavin. I just didn't have to go through all of the headache of actually having her.
So basically, I am better than Gavin, but
I mean, I didn't get stretch marks. I'm not going to say you're better than your brother, but I did not get stretch marks with you, which is a positive.
Basically,
honestly.
I'm better, but it's okay.
All right, so let's see here. Looking back on your childhood, what are some things I did as a mother that you feel really helped shape you in a positive way? I can't read.
Apparently. It would be homeschooling me and stepping up and being my mom and always showing up to and taking me to everything I ever did.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff I still do.
Yeah. So she's 19, going on 20, and she goes to pageant coaching once a month in Jasper, which is
4 hours away.
4+ hours from here. And yeah, I still take her.
Well, they wouldn't let me. They don't want me to drive that anyway. But I mean, I would prefer her take me either way. But if I had to drive it, I guess I could. But they don't want me to drive it because But what they say is I'm not a good driver. But
I mean, I guess you could take off.
I mean, I could if I needed to, but I might not make it back is the problem.
Yeah. So, when she was little, she did a lot of different things. Mainly she just did dance. She did cheernastics for a little while, but that was short lived. She did gymnastics when she was 2, 3, 4, and then until she was 5. Because when she was 5, she started. No, you were 4 when you started dancing.
I've not it.
She started dancing, and she actually did both for a little while. But she liked dance more, so she danced until she messed up her knee. She danced until she was 14.
Yeah.
14.
14.
So
that's when I started pageants.
Yeah. So then she started doing pageants, and that's what she does now.
Yep.
So, all right. Are there areas where you felt I may have fallen short as a mother? Things I did or didn't do that might have made things harder for you?
No, nothing that I could think of.
That curve was in your way, and the ditch, and the bird. Not your fault.
I'm saying. I'm glad somebody agrees. Somebody agrees.
I mean, areas where you felt I may have fallen short. So you can't think of anything.
Not for real. Like, I know that, like, everything. I mean, it worked out. Here I am. I mean, And I
Yeah.
am like the best thing since sliced bread, so I guess everything turned out the way it should have been.
Right. Right. I mean, fair. That's a fair statement. Um, I would say, personally, I know there were things I could have done different. I think as a parent, we always have things that we question, but um, you know, I agree with her. She turned out good,
The
so
best thing since sliced bread.
obviously, it worked out.
Yeah.
Were there times you wished I would have handled discipline or correction or conflict differently? If so, how?
Well, most of the time, majority of the time, if I was getting in trouble for something, it was needed. And so, like, I mean, I guess, and I don't do well with soft discipline. So she had to tell me 734 times, and on the 735th time, she finally lost it. And so, like, I mean, that's understandable. It's understandable. So,
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to answer that, I would say, yeah, sometimes I probably shouldn't have lost my cool on the 735th time. Um, Simply because I am in control of my own actions. So, I should have, not totally lost it probably on the 735th time.
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have thrown the bar stool at me instead of pick up. Like, she thought about throwing a bar stool, but she didn't actually do it. She put it down. So it could have been worse.
That is a true story. Did pick up a bar stool.
It can always be worse.
Yeah, I guess it could have been. Um, yeah, I don't even know that she could remember a time I yelled at her until she was older.
Yeah.
Like I didn't lose my cool about stuff when they were little.
About 14 up, things started going downhill. But that was all because I took them downhill. Straight down a diving board.
Just
Nice.
she was a good let's say she was a good kid. She's had a lying problem.
Yeah.
So I didn't do well with the lying at all. So, and I don't even know why she was lying. Like, she lied just
for the fun of it, I
for the
guess.
fun of it, because she's never told me anything and me being angry because she told me the truth.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what she told.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she did figure out, well, if I just tell her what's up, that's the better idea.
Yeah.
And she figured it out pretty early. I would say it was like 14 to like 16. And then you got better.
Yeah.
It started getting better.
Gosh, that felt like the longest 2 years of my life.
It's a lot of correction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, when kids are that age, they're going through so many changes and their hormones are all over the place. And so, and to be honest, it felt like I was constantly riding her. And I'm not one that loves to do that, but I don't mind doing it if it's needed. I would say Gavin got easier. Like, he was really difficult when he was little, and I would have to ride him a lot when he was small. And then he got easier when he became a teenager. But Bailey, she was really easy when she was little, and then she became a teenager and she got difficult. But she wasn't doing anything like bad or like, all in all, she was a great kid. But I have standards that are way up here. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but because I have those standards, she sets those same standards for herself. And I think it's a fair statement to say if I wouldn't have done that, she wouldn't have the same standards for her now.
Yeah.
But the thing is she holds everyone to those standards, which is why she doesn't date for real.
Not for real.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
It's hard to find somebody as perfect as me. So, good luck.
right. Your dad must have got lost.
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did too.
They came through the phone and scooped him up.
Scooped him up.
Scooped him right up.
Were there times you wished? Oh, just kidding. I already asked you that. In what ways did you feel most supported and loved by me? And were there times you struggled to feel loved?
Probably most loved would be whenever you would go to all my stuff with me, like you would sit at dance and all that stuff. And then I don't really remember a time where I felt like it was like I didn't feel loved by you.
That's good. Yeah, parents don't realize how, I think Slade said this last week. When you show up for your kids, that means more to them than anything. And I don't think parents realize the impact it has on them. Like, I could have dropped her off at the dance studio because she was there for hours. 4 days a week?
Yeah.
So I could have dropped her off and went back and picked her up, but I didn't do that. I took her and I sat. I can remember when she was in gymnastics. Oh, Slade's back.
Just join us when you can, why don't you?
I can remember whenever she was in gymnastics, Gavin was in a carrier still, and I would have to drag him upstairs just to sit there for her little.
Has arrived.
Oh boy, for her gymnastics. So it matters. You have to show up, and obviously, that impacted her life.
Yep.
But y'all all know, or y'all might not all know, most of y'all know, she and I take a trip every year together. At least one, like a 1 week trip. Like we take several little 2, 3, 4 day trips. But we take a 1 week trip at least once a year together. And yes. Oh, Jordan, I found out you learned what that meant tonight. I'm glad. 10-4. And Gavin only learned 2 days ago. Yeah. Yeah, Dalton sent him 10-4 and Gavin said, "What is 10-4?" Oh man. Yeah. So, I'm glad that
everybody knows what it is now.
Yeah. Possibly.
No, Gavin said it was because Jordan and Gavin are cultured.
Yeah.
That's why they did not know what 10-4 means.
Yeah. Jordan gets a pass because he's
not from here.
From another nation.
Gavin gets no pass. No pass.
Anyway, so Bailey and I go on this 1 week vacation every year. And I literally, it's usually in January. 1 year we did take it in November, but the past couple, the next few times, anyway. Last year was January, and then this coming one will be January as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So 2025 and 2026 we're doing January. But anyway, and I look forward to it literally all year long. I can sit up.
I can't do it too much. I have a double chin.
But I look forward to that all year long. Like, I look forward to the trip that we take because it means a lot to me. Um and I would take Gavin on a trip by himself, but he always wants to go to wrestling, and so it's just him and his dad do a trip by themselves, but he would rather do that than be stuck with me for a week anyway. Um just because boys have more in common and girls have more in common. Let's just be honest.
He would definitely rather go to wrestling than be stuck on a cruise for a week.
Yeah. And she and I take a week-long cruise. That's what we do together. And we really enjoy it. Do you enjoy it? I mean,
Yeah.
your face says no.
No, I do.
Why are you making that face? Okay, she's strange.
Yeah, my bad.
Anyway, anyway, okay. I'm done with that. Okay. Now that you're an adult, is there any advice you would give me not to change the past, but to help me be a better mother, grandmother, or even a mentor moving forward?
No. Not really.
Not really.
Were you perfect too?
I guess. Well, I mean,
You missed it. She already told everybody that.
yeah,
That she was perfect.
yeah. That I am yeah.
Not you. I know you're
No.
not.
Oh.
Oh no. No, I told everyone I was perfect.
No.
No, I was talking about your mother.
Oh no. You missed all of the rest of the show, so
10 minutes.
Yeah, well, we already went through everything.
Golly.
yeah, we
You're slacking.
answer questions. We get things done around
So
here.
I see this about the curb was in your way, the ditch was in your way, the bird was in your way.
Yes.
What is
Well, if you would have been in here, you would have known. But we were talking about we were talking about that mother still drives me to Jasper, and I was saying that I could do it if I had to, but y'all also don't want me to drive there. And then that's when Cheyenne was like, I'm not a bad driver because the curb and the ditch and the bird were not my fault. They were in my way.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what happened.
I don't
Absolutely.
can't agree with that.
The bird for sure.
I'll give it
The
give
bird
you a
for
pass
sure.
on the bird. The curb
Okay.
was
The curb.
can't hear me.
Oh, he's muted, guys. I'm sorry. He wasn't here.
I've been
so.
talking this whole time.
Look, Mom Sharon said, can't hear Slade. Thanks.
Well, it's probably you're probably hearing from my mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll
Anyway.
give you a pass on the bird. The curb, there's no pass.
No, the curb is completely understandable. Maybe I should have stopped and realized that the bottom of my car was no longer attached.
Maybe you should have just backed out of the parking spot you were in.
No, I did. And then
After-
I drove.
After she
After
ran
I
over it.
ran over it.
You
She
ran
backed,
over it twice.
she
No.
backed off of it.
Yeah, I pulled up and then
Backed
Backed
off
off.
of it.
Be twice.
Yeah, that would be twice.
Be 2 times.
Yeah, you hit it twice,
You pulled up on it.
and then you
and
backed
you
off
backed
of it.
up off of it.
That would be
well,
twice. 1, 2.
then what are you suggesting I did?
Back out of the spot before you drove over the curb.
Yeah.
Where you parked and then you drove over the curb.
No, I
No,
drove
she
over the
did it
curb when
while
I was.
parking.
I did it while I was parking, and so then I backed up a little bit and just parked, and then I got out of the car,
Yeah, that's what
It's
happened.
embarrassing.
and then the ditch. The sun was in my eyes, so not my fault.
I don't know about it, but okay. Yeah. So
Cheyenne agrees, so I'm not
Yeah.
alone in this.
So good driving skills she has. I don't ride with her. I wouldn't know for real.
I'm like a pro now.
I'm sure. Anyway, so whenever I was thinking about what we would talk about after I ask her those questions, I really just wanted to talk about the fact that I think that I hear a lot of moms say things like, I wish that my daughter had a relationship with me the way Bailey has with you. People say that to me a lot. And anyway, I always try to encourage them. But I was always making sure that I knew what was going on in her life, no matter what it was. I listened to all the stupid stories and I don't mean that in a negative way, but like the stories that kids like to tell that we're all like, oh my goodness, this story's never ending, you know? I listened to all of that and I cared. I cared about what she had to say and I cared about, you know, what she was going through and what her friends had going on and all the things. Like I was always there listening and I was always there to give any advice that she might have needed.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, why are we so like, and we've always been close. Like there's never been a time where we just weren't.
I think it's probably because we're both awesome and, you know.
I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, she and I are not, I would say her and her dad have a more similar personality in a lot of ways. Like they have a very dry sense of humor. Well, we all have a dry sense of humor.
Well, if me and Dad have very similar personalities, maybe that's why you like me so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
It makes sense now.
The case has been cracked.
It's
Yeah.
been solved.
Y'all are such good friends because you remind her
Of
of
you.
me.
I'm just the better version, so
Well, we established last week that's not true.
whatever you have to tell
Let
yourself.
her continue.
I would, and you know, next week it'll be me and Gavin on here, but I would say that Gavin and I, and I'll say this next week with him, I would say Gavin and I, stop scratching.
It's a little scratch, guys.
We have more of a similar personality than he and Slade. He and I like things very structured. We don't like for you to put a kink in our plan. We have a plan and we don't want to add anything to it. We're very similar in a lot of ways. So, but Bailey and I are similar in things we like to do.
Yeah.
Like we we like to cruise together. I don't even know what all we do. We watch the same TV shows. We
Get your nails done tomorrow.
get our nails done tomorrow
Stop
together.
looking at them.
Yeah, Slade's already said something to her about her nails tonight.
My hands are pink.
Yeah, she did pink hair today. I was going to say at school. At
At
work.
work.
But you know, don't blow your kids off like I don't want to hear about, you know, whoever and her boyfriend, because then it makes them feel like they can't talk to you. Like, even though you might think that it's dumb or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what's going on in their life and that's what they want to talk to you about. So you need to be open to hear it. And that's how you build a friendship with them. You're not going to build a friendship by going, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why are you telling me this? I don't care. Like, you're not building a friendship that way. Because then they're just not going to tell you anything and they're just going to shut down and do what they want. So if you want a relationship, you know, with your daughter, then you have to listen and actively listen to whatever she has going on in her life. Even if you're thinking in your head that's immature or whatever, it doesn't matter. She's a kid. So yeah, of course it's immature. So I think it's important, you know, and I think that's probably why, though, that she and I have such a close relationship.
It's just like any relationship. You get out of it what you put into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want a good relationship with your daughter, then you put something into that. Like, of course, you don't have a good relationship with your daughter because you don't listen to her. You don't take time with her. You don't, like she's saying, care what she's talking about.
My bad. I yawn.
Like-
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just like, a relationship with Jesus. You get out of that relationship what you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to feel close to Jesus, then you're going to need to be in prayer more. You're going to need to be reading His Word more. You always get back what you put in.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yes.
And what are ways, she doesn't like to be put on the spot, but I don't care. What are ways that moms can like have a close relationship with their daughter once they're your age? Like, what are things that I do that you're like, you think that's why we still have one, even though you're working and you have all of these things?
Well, I mean, you still make sure to have time for me, even though you're busy with other things and I'm busy with other things. We always still make sure to do stuff together. And then, like, you're still a mom to me, but whenever I tell you things, you don't overreact or like go crazy as if I were still a younger teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, and like if I ever think, and this is another thing, if I ever think she's wrong about something or she should have handled something differently, I'll tell her. Now, if she does something, if she actually listens to what I say, that's on her. But I will be like, hey, I don't agree with that. I think that, it could have been this way. So parenting never stops. Although she's, 19 going on 20 years old, it never stops. Like, I'll always be her mom. So if I think she needs correcting in the sense of I don't agree with what she did, I'll tell her. And that doesn't mean that she has to change it or that she's going to do it differently or whatever, but it does mean that I'm still her mom and I still can have that opinion.
Yeah.
And the transition from your kid becoming older is difficult because trying to find that balance is hard at first, very hard. Because she still lives in my house, but she also has her own things going on and she has her own life and all of those things. So, I can't ask her. Not that I really ever ask her to do anything, but like I can't ask her to do anything. Like if I need something done, I can't really ask her anymore because like she's working and all of the things. So, trying to find that balance is different. But I was never one to like make her like, I can remember I would have to like pick up my siblings and I would have to like go by the grocery store and stuff like that a lot and buy like actual groceries. Sometimes, and I never made her do that. Like she might have to like run go get some milk or something like that, and if I'm out of town, she might have to take her brother to violin or school or whatever. But like it's not a normal thing.
Yeah.
Gets I don't expect her to parent her brother. That he's my job.
And a lot of times people take that friendship with the child too far.
Yes.
And they just want to be their friend and not their parent. And so then when it's time to parent, they don't listen because you're just their friend. And I think you've always done a very good job of balancing that, finding that balance between I'm your friend, but above all, I'm your mom.
Yeah.
And I'll be your mom first, always.
Always.
And then your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that comes with respect, though. If they respect you, that it shows. Because I'll be the first one, like, to tell her if she's wrong, too. Like, I would say, she's one of my best friends, for sure. Without a shadow of a doubt. On all of my paperwork at the doctor's office, it's her and her dad.
Again, you're second.
Which terrifies her. She's like, what am I going to do?
I should not be anyone's emergency contact at all.
I probably shouldn't be either.
You really needs to find a different one.
Who
I
am I
don't
gonna
know.
use, guys?
April or something.
I don't know. You need to
Not
find
either of us.
Probably need to find someone more responsible than either one of us.
Yeah, because if something were to happen, what am I going to do?
Okay, let me call somebody.
Yeah, let me call somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh, boy. Well, this is terrifying.
Usually I would call her, but if something happened to her, we're
Okay, let me
straight
call
out of
my
luck.
wife. Let me call my wife.
Straight out of luck.
So, y'all hear, they both depend on me for emergencies. But if I'm having an emergency,
If she's having an emergency, somebody better answer the phone is all I know. Whoever I'm calling better answer.
April, you better answer the phone. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's comforting. But yeah, so like I was filling out something. I have to go to the dermatologist tomorrow. And I was filling out some paperwork yesterday. And I was like, Bailey, what's your phone number? Because she got a new phone. Anyway. And so she tells me what it is, and she's looking at me kind of crazy. And I'm like, I'm filling out paperwork for the doctor's office. I was like, you're my second emergency contact. And she was like, emergency contact? I was like, yeah, it's your dad first, then you.
If y'all
I've never
seen,
had to put 2 emergency contacts.
I've always had to put 2 emergency contacts.
Maybe it's because she fills out my paperwork.
I do.
Probably. You've never filled out an emergency
Bailey's
contact.
on yours too.
Y'all are both out of luck.
Terrifying.
If y'all have ever seen the TikToks where it's like, I shouldn't be anyone's emergency contact, and then they're like doing stupid stuff, that's me. I should not be anyone's emergency contact because I'm the one getting hurt.
April said, we will figure it out.
Good. Good.
Somebody will have to.
Won't be me.
So, I think it's important for moms, with their daughters to like find things that they have in common. So, I mean, luckily, and then let me back up just a second. Whenever, so we all know Bailey loves to do hair and makeup, but that is probably my fault. I bought her first vanity before I ever had her brother. So she was 2. The first vanity she had. And it had a pretend blow dryer and curling iron. And I have pictures of me sitting in the floor and her doing my hair.
Beating her in the head with a blow dryer.
Yes. And she'd do my makeup and all the things.
Still beat her in the head with a blow dryer.
She does. And it's payback for me pulling her ponytail so tight when she was a kid.
I was literally telling somebody about that today.
I mean, I got it tight.
Literally, that's what I was telling too.
Your daddy sent you to school with a loose pony.
Yeah, he did. Surprised we didn't get lice from it.
Yeah, I went on vacation one time to see my sister in Boston, and Slade was in charge of pulling.
Ponytail duty.
Yeah, apparently. It was no good. No good.
No.
Her hair fell every day. And she was sure to tell me when I called and check on her.
The important things.
She was ready for mom to be home so I could pull her hair up. But so that's something that she and I have done together. And I've done her fingernails and toenails her whole entire life. Like, she was little bitty and I would be painting designs and all kinds of stuff on them.
Yeah. She got pretty good there at the end.
Yeah. And then she got old enough and she started going with me. She's been getting her nails done since she was 11.
Bougie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might as well take you with me. Then I don't have to do it. So it's something she and I do together. And we enjoy it.
Yeah.
And, you know, moms, I think it's important to like teach your daughters as well, like hygiene, because I hear horror stories from teenage girls and their parents sometimes about these girls, like their moms just don't teach them. And that's crazy to me. Like, why would you not teach your daughter hygiene?
Yeah.
You know, you should teach both kids, but as a woman, you know, there are things we do. Like, I think I started plucking her eyebrows when she was
It's probably 3.
she was not 3. I did take the little razor to them starting when she was probably 5 or 6.
I probably believe that.
Yeah. She was probably 5 or 6 when I started razoring her eyebrows.
But somebody should have told me sooner that they needed to be seriously done something too.
Listen,
Y'all,
they were way
don't
thick.
go back at pictures because it's so bad. So bad.
I finally did tell you that.
It looked like I had 2 caterpillars on my face.
Yeah. I mean, I finally told her, I said, girl, you got to get rid of some of those eyebrows.
Yeah.
I said, they don't have to be as skinny as mine because, you know, I was in the over plucking days. But they thick.
Yeah, they were.
So, she got that from her daddy. But, you know, that's,
Okay.
and if you don't know how to do makeup and your daughter is interested in that, find somebody who is. Like, thankfully, I know how to do those things. So, we were actually working a wedding, I don't know, a couple months ago. And one of the girls said, I love y'all's relationship, whatever. And she was like, and one of the other girls looked at her and said, where did you learn how to do makeup? And she was like, from her. So like, it's something we've always shared. I taught her how to do makeup at a really young age. And you know, I always told her it's not something you have to have, you know, you're beautiful without it, all the things. But
It helps.
Yeah.
I'm a 10 out of 10 no matter what, so more like a 12 out of 10 for real. But
yeah, she gets that from her father too.
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10. But you know, I've always tried to make sure that she knew, like, shave your legs. She does shave her legs every day. Not everyone does that, but the rule in the house was, okay, if you're going to start shaving them, well, then you're going to shave them. I shave mine every day. You can shave yours every day. I just wanted to teach good habits to where whenever she got to be an adult and she gets married, her spouse isn't like, ooh,
you got prickly legs.
yeah. Or, ooh, do you ever do anything with yourself? Like, these are things that I didn't want to happen with her. And so, you know, like, you got to make sure that you bathe like you should. And all of the things. Floss your teeth. Like, you know, these are things that you should teach your kids. And, but I was a terrible parent, in some ways. Remember those videos I'd show y'all? The teeth videos?
You showed us a lot of videos, a lot of
Not
pictures.
The rotten teeth videos.
She showed us a lot.
The rotten teeth videos, and I told you there was bugs crawling in their mouth.
She used scare tactics.
I did. Hey, it worked. They both brush their teeth regularly.
Like toenails, stuff like that. People's
Yeah.
toenails falling off.
Yeah. I mean, I've shown them some things in their lives. And you know, not everybody paints their toenails. That's not a thing for everyone. But I don't know. I guess I started painting Bailey's toenails when she was a baby. So
My toenails have not gone without anything Probably since I was a baby.
Yeah. And they're never chipping.
No.
If they chip, you take that
You
stuff off
start over.
and start over.
Unless I break my toenail.
Yeah.
I do that a
She's
lot.
good at doing that.
Dog bones.
No, I broke my foot that day.
Damn.
Not my toenail. That's when I ran into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a normal toe that you ran into the wall.
No, it was
with,
my
No.
pointer toe.
Yeah, it was her pointer toe.
Pointer.
How do you hit the wall with your pointer toe?
I don't know.
Not
I
your
really don't
pinky
even
toe.
know because my pointer toe is not longer than my big toe. So I really don't know.
Skill.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are just things that I would say when having a daughter that maybe you don't think about, but like, and you need to show her how to shave her armpits at like 10, because by 12 they have full on armpit hair. And let me tell y'all, I did not know. No one told me about shaving my armpits. So here I was, 11 years old.
Here it comes.
What?
I know what you're fixing to say. I already know
No,
what you're
I'm not
fixing
going to say it.
to- Oh, why
'cause-
not?
Oh, you want me to say it?
I mean, why wouldn't you say it?
You already brought it up at this point. might
Well,
as
I'll say it then. Anyway, so I was camping with my mother, and she was like, Tabitha, looks like you got buckwheat in a headlock. And I'm like, what? And she's like, your armpits. Shave your armpits. I didn't know this. I was 11 and I had full on hair under my armpits. And anyway, yeah, I'd been shaving my legs since I was 9. But yeah,
Didn't know I was supposed to shave
I didn't
my
know I was supposed to shave
armpits.
my armpits. Like, nobody told me this. And like, I wasn't like looking under my arms to see if I had hair. I didn't even know women grew hair under their armpits.
See, dudes would look up under their arms daily,
Waiting for the day.
waiting for that armpit hair to start
Waiting.
growing.
Yeah. I think Bo wanted to tape hair under
Yes.
his armpits.
I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just
Didn't
one
he
of those
cut it
things.
from his head?
Yeah, I
to tape
think
under his
so.
armpits?
Cheyenne, I have to chime in on that.
Now Bo goes under the bus.
Sorry, Bo.
Sorry, Bo. He ain't listening. It's okay. But yeah, so like those are things that you should definitely teach your kid. Shaving their armpits. I had no idea. Yeah. So anyway, just little things like that you really don't think about with
They
a-
should dermaplane their face. That's a big one. A lot of people don't know about. You
Uh,
should dermaplane
yeah,
your face.
most adults don't know that.
But
so
you should.
yeah, I started dermaplaning her face when she was probably, she'll say 3.
3.
but she
Three.
was 3.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, they make these little razors for the face. It's better than nothing. I get mine professionally dermaplaned, but hey, if you're not into that sort of thing, that's fine. They do make the little razors. You can have at it. Something Bailey and I can't stand is to do professional makeup and someone has not dermaplaned their face. It just makes the makeup not sit right and all the things. So yeah, dermaplaning your face, huge.
Big one.
Something I taught her when she was
3.
3, apparently. um, yeah, so, you know, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can drop them in the comments. But those are just things that I taught her. And I also have taught her how to have, I mean, y'all hear how great she thinks she is. And I want her to think those things. I want her
I know
to
those
know
things.
that, yeah, I want her to know that she's special and she's a prize. And any man that gets her will be lucky. And I want her to know that. Like, don't sell yourself short because you don't think you deserve it. Like, no, you deserve, to be treated the same way your dad treats you. And if a man's not going to do that, you don't need him. And so, I do give her, I said at the beginning that I have really high standards, and I expect her to have really high standards. And I put standards on my kids that some people would say is not obtainable, but that's a lie.
Because here we are.
Yeah. Children are resilient, and they will strive for a goal as long as you keep moving it. But once they've met the goal, what do they have to strive for? You have to hold them to such a standard that they have to keep working towards it. Because it makes them better people. It makes them more, I think it makes them better employees if they, go to work for someone. I think it makes them better bosses because they're always striving to better themselves. And I think that's important. There's not a day that goes by I don't do something to try to better me. And, a lot of that is, reading my Bible and things like that I do, every single day, trying to better me. But I go to counseling, and I eat like I'm supposed to, and I go to the gym, and I just do so many things, always trying
Stop that.
to be the best version of myself. And I encourage my kids to do the same thing. So that's really all I have tonight. I hope y'all learned something, got something, whatever.
My back hurt. Sorry about the faces I was making.
This guy.
I'm glad y'all got blessed with me for 2 weeks in a row.
No, they don't have to deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
They
No,
get
I'll be
Gavin
back
next.
behind the camera.
Yeah, back where she belongs.
It'll be me and Gavin next week, and then Slade and Gavin the next one, because Bailey and I will be out of town.
Me and Gavin are flying solo.
Don't worry. We'll be in the comments, keeping them in line.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love y'all.